Okay, so we're ready to rock and roll. I've been excited about this call. I've been thinking about it all day today. Be able to answer your guys' questions. I know a lot of times we just are most Thursdays, even the Monday calls with Lindsay's downline. And on Thursday nights we have like a planned call. Like we have somebody plan to do the call, and they have a subject that they're going to teach on and talk about. And so I want to do something different today and just do a question and answer. And sometimes I've done those before, and sometimes you get on and there's not any questions that pop up. So I just kind of have to make something up as I go and talk about something. So I asked for questions throughout the week, and we got them all written down. I have them on this little notepad. So I'm going to pull this notepad up so I have it ready. But the first thing I want to know, thumbs up. Is everybody feeling good? Awesome. So if you've never been on a Zoom call before, I know there's a few coaches on here. What you can do is, if you have a question when I'm talking or anything, I have everybody muted because it's really loud if everybody's computers are on. So if you need to ask a question, just unmute yourself, and there's a little red microphone button. You can just unmute that and you can ask a question. If you have something to add on to something that I've asked. I may even ask some of the newer coaches on here that have maybe started a challenge group or could answer one of these questions as well to help out. So you might get called out. So be prepared. Because I don't want to do all the talking, because I think it's better that we all learn from each other. So the main things I want you guys to know about right now and right away is Super Saturday. I'm going to get the link or the date real quick. I don't have it off the top of my head, and I should. But it is it the 23rd? Cancun ends on the 19th. Oh, not the 23rd. It's Saturday, April 25th. So make sure you write down the date, Saturday, April 25th, because we have you will have a local Super Saturday event that you need to get to. You need to get to it. You need to find where it's at. The way to find where it's at is go to your Coach Online office to the it's not in the breaking news yet, but if you go to news and events or news and training, I'll show you where it's at, right? Let's just show you. I will show you where it's at. So if you watch my screen, you go to news and training right here in your Coach Online office, and you go down to events. Once that opens up, you come over here to Super Saturday 2015 on the left-hand side. Next event, April 25th, has all the information, what it is, where it's at. There's a little link here. You can click View Event Listing. If there's not one near you yet, don't worry, because some of them haven't been registered yet, and they put them up as they get registered. If there's one that doesn't come near you, you need to host your own. I mean, a few of my coaches have done that. We did that as well. The first one was just me with two of my coaches. And we did it by ourselves. So if you click to host it, what it basically does, you can mark it as public or private. If you need to and you're the only coach there, do it as private and get the information so you can learn about it. So Super Saturday is the first thing on the list that you guys need to make sure that you know about. And then the next thing is Summit. That's the next big thing on the list, which is in Nashville. And if you don't know about Summit yet, write down this URL. It's www.coachsummit2015. So 2015.com. So www.coachsummit2015.com. And it's going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. There's going to be about 25,000 coaches there. Okay, and it's going to be incredible. I mean, I think the first year I went to Summit, there was like 6,000 coaches. The second year I went to Summit, there was like 7,500 coaches. The third year I went to Summit, there was about 9,000. And then this year, there's 25,000. So Beachbody's having great growth. And so we want you to be there with us. Celebrate the success of yourself, what you've created with your business between now and July, as well as celebrate with our team. And we still have rooms. We have about half of the Embassy Suites booked. So if you need a room, you can get a hold of me. Write me a Facebook message. I'll connect you with our group. And there's a code and a number you can call in and reserve your room at the Embassy Suites. And, if you're going alone, maybe you're a brand new coach, you don't have your spouse on board yet, or you're single, we can help you team up and room with another person if you need to. I know I just teamed up 3 of my guy coaches, and they reserved a room together this past week. So they're 2-room suites. So we got that all set up for you guys as well, so we can spend that extra time together. So we're pumped about that. But I want you to try to make an effort to be there in Nashville with it. It'll change your business, the whole outlook on your business. And then also, there's many of us going to Cancun for the Success Club trip. I know one of the questions was about Success Club, so I'll hit on that when we talk about that. But I want to just mention before I answer these questions, as I lead into this, there's 2 ways you can react. There's a couple ways you can react when you see something like this, right? Like when you see somebody at a free trip, like the Success Club trip. We're going to be in Cancun, so I want you guys to watch, and if you're not going, and see what's going on with the coaches that are going on that trip. And I can give you my firsthand testimony, I guess, of I remember the day I signed up, I was actually really pissed off. And I've shared this part of my story a few times. I was at work, and I was wondering how I was going to pay the bills for the birth of Ellie. She's my daughter that just turned 4. And it was like 23 days after she was born. I was looking through the bills, trying to make sure everything lined up with the insurance and lined up with what the bills were coming to me. And I was like, holy cow, I don't know how to do this. And Gabby wasn't working. And I got on my computer to browse through Facebook, and I wasn't a coach yet. And I had been asked about being a coach multiple times for like 8 months. And I was just like, nah, not for me. And I saw a bunch of pictures of coaches with like Sean T, Tony Horton, and they were on a cruise ship. And I was so pissed off that I was not on that trip and that I was sitting in my cubicle worrying about how to pay my bills. So I made a decision that day to become a Beachbody coach. And I was going to do whatever it took. This shy, awkward guy, and you guys that are local and have met me know that I'm not really outgoing or quiet. And, so I had to overcome those things. I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to figure out and do whatever it takes to earn that trip, that Success Club trip. So if you're not on the trip with us in 3 weeks, I want you to look at that, and I don't know if you need to get angry or inspired, whichever one drives you, and decide that you're going to earn any other trip that comes up in the future with Beachbody and do whatever it takes. So we're going to be excited to be on that trip, and that's one of the cool things about Success Club. It's a bonus part of it. Success Club is really based on, and I'll answer the questions on it. Success Club is based really on, it's like that achievable goal you can set for yourself monthly that I know will bring you success in the business. And then like the leads and the free trips, that's all just a bonus thing to think about. So I have all these questions here. And to start off, I'm going to skip down to one of these. It says testimonials of how other coaches got their start. For example, the first 3 to 6 months, what went right? What did they do wrong? What were the best practices? So I said I'm going to call some people out, and I'm doing an eeny, meeny, miny, mo here. Josh Holt, can you hear me, buddy? He could have totally ignored me and pretend his computer didn't work. Hey, can I unmute you, Josh? Okay, can you hear me, Josh?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, so I want your testimonial. When did you start? How did you get started? Like your first 3 to 6 months, what went right? What went wrong? What have you learned?
So I got started in September of 2013. And my testimonial started from the fact that I ride BMX bikes professionally, and my weight, I used to gain 10 pounds every winter and lose 3 every spring, or lose 7 every spring. So I'd keep 3. And it just started to catch up with me, and it was starting to affect my riding in my life. And so I started to get into fitness a little bit. And then my wife, Misty, kept telling me that she followed all these people online that were Beachbody coaches. And I was like, it doesn't make any sense. How do you make money online? Tell people how to work out. And so I just kind of blew it off, didn't want anything to do with it for quite a while. And I finally looked into it, decided it was something that I wanted to try. And I remember I was like, hey, this one guy that I'm friends with on Facebook, he's always posting stuff about Beachbody. And so I'm going to hit him up and see what it was. And it was Scottie. And, we've been friends on Facebook for a long time and had never talked about Beachbody ever. So I decided to join. My first few months went great. I ended up earning the Success Starter, earned my free ticket to Summit. And it was actually a team cup, was like a huge start for me. I'd only been a coach for about 2 weeks when I joined my first ever team cup. And I ended up getting Success Club 14 that month. And I really had no idea what I was doing. And so, just that went really well, and just basically jumping in both feet and not messing around. I commit to stuff pretty hard when I do it. So when I decided I was going to be a coach, I wasn't gonna mess around with it. I wasn't going to just try it out and kind of see what I thought. I was all in to, make it work, make it happen, and just see what I can do from there. And ever since then, it's been amazing. It's absolutely changed my life as far as my fitness goes, because that's the one easy, no questions asked. You do your workouts every day and drink your Shakeology and you get fit. Like it's just that simple. And then the side effects of it through my personal development and how I've grown as a person has just been absolutely huge. And the business side of it is quickly replacing everything else I have to do for a job. And it's been pretty awesome.
Awesome. So that all sounds like, because sometimes a new coach looks at everything and it appears that success is like this straight shot all the way to the top, that everything goes right. So tell us about, because it said, what went right and what went wrong? What were some things that went wrong and what changed, or how did you adjust or adapt?
So, like I said, I got Success Starter. I did really well. I got Success Club my 4th month, and then my 5th month, I got 0 points. And it was in January. So everybody who has set all the New Year's resolutions and everyone else did obviously not want to buy from me. And it wasn't them or timing or anything else. It was just me not being consistent with my work and with what I had to do. And that was kind of a big lesson for me. And it's really funny. My Success Club absolutely follows my personal development. Whenever I get busy with life and that's what I cut out, I feel like my Success Club points show that I haven't been doing my personal development. And so I get constantly reminded, every time I miss or I'm short or this and that and the other, and it's I can always look back at my activity and see what I did wrong. So it's the good thing about this business is it's very specific to, if you're not getting success, you can always go back and look at what you did. And you can usually, if you're honest with yourself, see what you did do or weren't doing to not get the results that you wanted.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. So there's a testimonial of how a successful coach. He's almost a 1-star diamond coach now. He's been a diamond coach for a while, almost a 1-star. So as you can see, it's not always all this pretty, perfect, successful thing. It was success, free trip to Summit, 0 Success Club points in the most busy time for health and fitness, which is supposed to be the easiest month with Beachbody or any health and fitness business. So the thing about that I love that he shared, that I think we can all learn from, is you be honest with yourself and look back and see where did I slack off, or where did I miss in the weeks prior to that caused the result here to not be what I wanted. So thanks for sharing that with us, Josh.
Hey, also real quick, is I have to admit, I would have to say that probably 80% of the month that I've hit Success Club have been in the last 10 days of the month. I don't want to be a procrastinator. I don't like putting stuff off, but for some reason that's how it goes, man. This month I will absolutely get it, and I'm not there yet. And so I'm here with my phone, texting different people, texting some new coaches. They're gonna be signing up before the end of the week, and just always pushing till the very end. I mean, there's never been a 30th or a 31st that I haven't been my nose buried in my computer, going through everything I can do, trying to make sure that I get those points for the month. Because it's pretty important, and I can tell the growth in the business when I hit that versus when I don't, for sure.
Awesome. So it's kind of cool what happens when you have a deadline. And with Beachbody, I guess you could say the deadline is at the end of every month, right, for Success Club. So a thing that you can do, a tip that I can teach you that I always do, is I set my deadline earlier. My deadline for Success Club is the 10th every month. I want Success Club by the 10th. And then that way I can focus all my energy on continuing to build new relationships without ever getting to the point where you have to feel like you're pushing people or trying to convince people. So if you have a struggle with making it happen always, or maybe falling short or making it happen at the end of the month, just set the deadline for yourself. And I know we can all see that in any job we've ever done. I mean, I did, any job I've ever done before, whether it was when I was a dental lab technician making teeth, or whether it was when I was writing manuals. It's funny how you can have like maybe 8 weeks to get something done, like a manual, and then when that last week comes and it's about to ship, and you got to get the manual on the truck with the machine, where you just like, you get focused and you do every activity that you have to do to make sure that gets done. So if you can set that deadline for yourself earlier and then focus on those activities that have to be done and not avoid them, then it's going to be easier that way. So there's a testimonial, and I want you guys to know that a lot of people are like that. I'm going to ask one other coach. Let me browse through here. I'm going to ask Dean. Can you hear me, man? Okay. Hey, Dean, could you share with us, I unmuted you. Could you share with us that as well? The same topic. How was your first 3 to 6 months? What went right? What went wrong? What are some best practices you've learned?
So, just like Josh, I hit success starters. I got to be on a conference call with Carl Deichler. I won my trip to summits. I was hitting Success Club 10 month after month after month. And then I went through some, personal pain, and my attitude changed. I got really negative. And then, I think, so I hit July, August, September, and then I didn't have a single Success Club point for the entire month of October. And then at the very end of November, I think I hit Success Club. So essentially it was like 2 months of nothing. I mean, nobody wanted to talk to me. Nobody wanted to sign up. And, I honestly was thinking, maybe this isn't for me. I shouldn't do it. But I also was going through Scottie's classes. He had gone on a trip. I stepped in and was running some groups. And so I was staying motivated because I felt like I needed to stay motivated for Scottie and not let him down. But honestly, it was one of those things where if I hadn't done that, I probably would have quit. And then December was a great month. And then January was like fantastic, like through the roof. I think in my business centers, we had 29 total Success Club points. And, now I won the trip to Tony Robbins as a result. Thank you again, Scottie. And the momentum from that trip has been fantastic. We've been doing these groups. We've had 90 to 100 people in our clean eating groups for their free clean eating groups. So lots of momentum. And guess what? This month, nothing. Like I had one Success Club point again, and I'm like racking my brain. Well, guess what? There's another big personal thing that's been going on, and I'll be announcing it all publicly here really soon. But this week, I signed 3 new coaches. So in my business centers, I'm Success Club 7. And what I know is that the reason I didn't do well in October and November is I didn't want to talk to me. And if I didn't want to talk to me, why would anybody else want to talk to me? And I know Scottie and I had this conversation, and he's like, look, you've been kind of negative. Like you got this deep stuff out there. Like, seriously, pay attention to what you're doing. And that's really what it was. And, I know it's hard, and it's really easy for us to want to put all of our pain and our suffering out on Facebook. And it's one thing to put it out there like, hey, I went through this, and hey, here's what I did. I turned it around and turned it into a positive. It's something totally different when you say, oh, that a-hole, they cut me off in the parking lot. What's wrong with them? Because then people see that negativity and are like, I don't want anything to do with that. Like, I'm done. I don't even want to talk to that person. That's it. So, like, my big lesson learned is Facebook, you're on the stage all the time. Your life, you're on the stage all the time. If you're not being positive, people are not going to want to be around you. They're not going to want to hear what you have to say, even though your message is good and it's from your heart. So no matter what, stay positive, stay focused. If you're pissed off, if you're having a bad day, call your accountability partner. If you don't have one, get one. Call your upline coach, but don't put that stuff out on Facebook. And the energy that you surround yourself with, whether it's positive or negative, is going to have an effect. And I'll tell you that what I have started doing is when I see coaches that are part of our team that are going down that spiral, I'll send them a private message, really nice one. Hey, I know you don't know me, but I see there's some stuff going on. If you want to talk to me, I'll talk to you. But reach out to people if you see that, because your negative energy will crush your business solidly. It'll just be done.
Excellent.
Anyway, that's my short answer long.
There you go. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. I can't see the thing. Can you mute yours, Dean? I can't see the little button right now.
Yeah,
so,
you bet.
There's a couple of great tips, and one of the things I always say when a coach comes to me and says, "Hey, my business is struggling," it all goes back to what Dean says. It's not really your business that's struggling. It's you're struggling in life. Like something's not right in your life. You have some turmoil in your mind or in your life or in a relationship or at your job, and you're letting it affect your business. It's not the business that's wrong. If it's struggling, it's something going on in your life. So that's where that extra personal development comes in handy. You guys heard both Dean and Josh really mention personal development. So if you're not hitting your goals or have self-doubts and limiting beliefs, and you're talking to yourself like, who do I think I am to be able to get Success Club this month? Like I've never hit it before. If you're saying that stuff, that's what you're going to continue to get. You're going to attract that type of energy in. So if that's where you're at right now, that's where you need to surround yourself more with your team, with positive people, like be on more team calls, listen to more national wake-up calls, so you can begin to develop that belief a little bit more. And then listen to, like, I can't even tell you how many audios to listen to. Like I even go through that. Heck, I was shaving my head and buzzing today, and I was just kind of grumpy. My back hurts a little bit. I was kind of being a whammy, getting back into working out after the injury, and I was like, oh man, I don't want to do anything today. And it's sunny outside. The kids are on spring break. And I was like, I went into the bathroom to do all that shaving thing. And I blasted some, it was Joel Osteen today for like 25 minutes while I was doing all that stuff. And then I put in some more Joel, and I went to the gym and I worked out with Joel in my ear. And then I rode the bike listening to Tony Robbins. And then I was ready to go do my job. So, the personal development is going to be a huge part. And as a new coach, as a leader, a leader that's leading a team as well. So I'm going to go on to the next one. One of the questions, basic, was understanding how the business works. Like that could be I could spend a whole 60 minutes teaching you how the business works. Guys, the basics of it is you guys basically are the CEO of your own health and fitness company, business. The cool thing, though, is you have a Beachbody that does millions upon millions of dollars of advertising. So they sell the products for you. They put out the testimonials. They have proof that the programs work. They pay for all that advertising. Heck, they give you some leads as well. So how business works is you develop yourself into somebody. You market yourself into somebody that will ask for help with these programs. So you become proof the products work so that you can talk about it and share about it, and someone asks you what you do, and then you can refer the product. So the basics of it is learning how to market yourself, who you are, what you stand for, and then building a team of people like you that are out working on yourself, your own transformations, your own growth and personal development, and then teaching other people how to do that. So many times coaches they get overwhelmed. You want to know everything, every in and out detail about Beachbody before you get started. What you really need to do if you want to get your business started is create success stories. Like, honestly, I don't care if you know in your first 6 months how to place coaches on the left or the right or getting all that stuff lined out necessarily. I want you creating your success story, developing yourself as a person. So in 6 months you have changed. Your outlook on life has changed. You're more positive, and people can notice that. And I want you to have a few people that you've helped do that as well. That's the basics of starting to build a business, is creating the success stories in yourself and in those around you. That's it. If you just focus on that, the rest of the stuff is just going to be so simple. And you'll begin to learn it as you go and get on every single team call and listen to national wake-up calls. You learn a little something from every coach and be able to really master and learn everything. But don't wait until you know everything to get started. Because you could have all the details in the world and no transformation or no personal change and no success stories with your friends or family or parents. and you have nothing except a bunch of knowledge. So that knowledge won't be anything until you take action on it, which is changing yourself and inviting other people to change themselves as well with the tools that Beachbody has. So that's my 5-minute how the business works. And if you want more in depth, we have new coach training webinars we've recorded that have, this is how you place this coach, this is how you place this coach, this is what Emerald is, this is what Diamond is, and all of that stuff. So, but that's the basics, is you've got to change your life. One thing I talk to in our new coach training groups with all of my coaches is the minute in this business that you can become independent, where you don't need me, that's when you're going to become successful. Like, I want to be a part of it. Like my coaches that are, that have built a great team, like Gina and Fontaine, Dean, I'm just kind of glancing, Tiara, Carolina, Josh, these guys that have built a great team. I want to be a part of it. I mean, Barton's a brand new coach. He's almost diamond within like a month and a half, so, and he's independent, but like, he'll tell you firsthand, like I was in Utah, I'm like, Barton, come hang out at the pool. Like, we're at the hotel. Like, I want to be a part of your life and part of it. But once you take ownership of your business, that's when it's really going to take off. And you're going to be able to really start to grow it, because that's when you start to become a leader, and that's when you start to inspire other people to take action on their lives. So don't get me wrong when I say I don't want you to talk to me or you got to do this all on your own. I'm not saying that, but once you can completely self-motivate every single day without having somebody beg you to get on the calls, beg you to do your 3 vital behaviors, once you get to that point, that's when you're going to become the inspiration to other people. So that's what I want you guys to understand about that part of it. And I tell my new coaches in a new coach training group that it's like, the reason I say that is because if it's like that scripture, if you feed a man, he eats for a day. If you teach a man to fish, if you feed him a fish, he eats for a day. If you teach him to fish, he eats for life. So we want you to learn how to fish on your own, so that you can make this a lifestyle change and create a life of abundance and purpose with Beachbody. So that's the reason I talk to you about that on how this business works. And the next question, and remember, if anybody has anything to add on or say, extra comments or questions, just unmute yourself and let me know. So here's a great question. Yes. Who is it?
So I have one thing I wanted to add, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So part of the reason that I know I didn't do well in March, and this is not, it may come out like an excuse, but this is also about ownership. And I want you guys to realize this, because I have another coach who's almost diamond. Sorry about the noise. I have another coach who's almost diamond. She's fantastic. I haven't talked to her in a few weeks. And some of you may or may not know, 5 weeks ago I had to have an emergency surgery and have my gallbladder removed. Well, I completely dropped off. And I've been working with my coaches, and I've been doing some training with them. And then I didn't keep up. And the mistake was I didn't ask them to step up and help me. And I should have done that. And that's a lesson I should have learned from Scottie 6 months ago, is I should have stepped up and asked for help, because they all stopped working, because that's what I showed them was acceptable. So if you're building a team and you fall off, no matter what's going on, I mean, I had surgery, rightfully so. None of them minded. They're not angry with me, but I showed them that, hey, I had a big life thing happen. I didn't ask for help. I didn't ask my wife for help. I just let my responsibilities fall off. That's on me, and I have to own it. And luckily, one of my coaches kind of smacked me around yesterday or the day before, and then she called Tammy and said, hey, I hope I wasn't too hard on it. But I appreciate it. So learn that lesson. Ask for help if you need it, and don't fall off. If you're the leader, you have to be the leader. End of discussion.
Absolutely. Awesome. That brings me to a question that was down here later on that I'm going to hit, since you kind of talked on that. I had a coach tell me, they've been a coach for a while, and they just haven't started. They haven't set a schedule. They want to do this as a business. They want to leave their job. They understand that, to really create a business, you got to treat it like a business, like set hours for yourself, show up with a to-do list, use the business activity tracker that's in the coach office to make sure you're tracking your activity, and your invites and everything you're doing. And they know all of that. So they have the knowledge. They've been watching every team call, listening to everything. And it finally came to light when I was having a conversation with them that they're afraid about if somebody fails, if they sign somebody up as a coach and they fail, or if they sign somebody up as a challenger and they fail on their transformation, they don't want to be that catalyst for that failure, or be responsible for that person's failure. And they started growing a great team in the couple months after we had this conversation. But the thing I let them know is, like, I think we all, we're blessed to be on the team we are. I mean, my coach was the top coach of the company. She's been in the top 10 for the past 4 years in a row. Like, we have a great upline and a great support team that's positive. We hardly see any negativity ever, or much complaints. And we have like this great team that we can take a part of and advantage of. But this conversation I had with this coach was, the thing about it is we're giving people the tools to become successful, but they have to use those tools. You can't make somebody change. You can't force somebody to change. You can't force their activities. You can't force their mind to be more positive if it's negative. You have no control over that. But the only thing you do have control over is your own activity, your own mindset, your own belief in yourself, your own 3 vital behaviors, doing the workouts, be an example. So like what Dean says, and what I told this coach, I said, the only way that you can fail somebody is if you sign somebody up as a coach or a customer and you leave, or you stop doing the activity, you let life get in the way and you stop. That's the only way you can fail them, because realistically as a coach, you tell them, hey, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to be the example that if you take these tools, the Beachbody Challenge Pack or the whole Coach Online office that they get access to as a coach, you have all these tools, follow what I do, follow my example, and you'll be successful. So the only way that you can really become a failure in this business is if you stop. If you let life get in the way or you stop. And if you've done that, you can always ask for forgiveness, right? You can correct, apologize and step back up and say, hey, you know what? I failed in this aspect. I should have been here, just kind of like Dean did to all of us. So if that's holding you back from starting to invite people and get people started, don't let it stop you, because your job is to give them the tools that will make them successful if they use the tools and follow your example of using these tools as well. So if that's been holding you back in the business, I want you to let go of that now and start building your team. Because if you don't let go of it, it'll be a year from now and you'll still be waiting for that moment to overcome that fear to start building the team. So decide that you are going to get over that as soon as possible, because I want you to achieve your goals as soon as you can. They're your goals with your deadlines in your business. I want you to achieve them, but I don't want it to take 8 years or 9 years or 5 years if you can do it in 2.5 years or 3 years. So, but the only thing that's going to change that is starting the activity and starting to believe in yourself right now. And I know every single successful coach on this team right now, and I could tell you they had just as many doubts as you did in the beginning, same as me. And then one day they just decided they weren't gonna let that stop them. That they were awesome no matter what. That nobody could tell them they weren't awesome. And I can't remember who it was. One of my coaches was saying that the other day on a little chat they did. They're like, you know what? Nobody could tell me I'm not awesome because I'm awesome. And it's a brand new coach. And I was like, he is going to be successful because he believes in himself. He knows that he has the potential to help other people. Okay. So another one, the next question on here was work-life balance. So creating a work-life balance, I believe, I'm not going to hit on this one too much. I'll just hit on the basics of it. But if you want an idea on work-life balance, I would check out Gina and Fontaine's call from last week. It's on my YouTube channel. It's in my blog. I put all of our calls in my blog at scottiehobbs.com, coach training tab, team calls and recordings. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Gina and Fontaine Hunter talked about, they build a business with 4 little kids, and Fontaine's been working at his job, and Gina's been building the business at home. And they talk about how they balance family, work life with all those kids. And like Gina, your 3 youngest ones are under 3 still?
3, 2, and 1.
3, 2, and 1.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they got some young ones. So their call was great on, creating that life and work balance. But I think the important thing to do is set your hours, have open communication with your spouse or your significant other. And if you don't have that, heck, you have all the time in the world to do it if you're single or you don't have kids. But what you need to do is just set your hours like a real job, like a real business. And that's what I did when I started. I set my hours when I first started from 8 o'clock until 10:30, till 10:30, and then every lunch break. That was my business hours. And I told myself mentally, I had to tell myself in my mind that if I skipped, it was like I could get fired. Even though it's my own business, I looked at it as a job. Like if I didn't show up, I could technically get fired. So I kind of had to create that in my mind so I would show up. So I think it's important that you set your hours and then listen to Gina and Fontaine's call. It's on YouTube, so you can listen to it during your workout or while you're driving or while you're doing the dishes. You can listen to that extra training and advice from them. But the important thing will be is when you have your business hours and you have your family hours, that you stick with them. And it's going to be hard at first, and you'll have to talk through it and work through it. I know Gabby had to slap my hand a few times when I would have my phone tucked to the side during our movie night. I'm like, hey, I think I got a Shakeology order. I got to answer this message right now. It took me a while to get balanced and understand that message would still be there the next morning when I woke up to do my work. So just really sticking to your priorities. Like family's a priority. God could be a priority. Your business could be a priority. Just setting those hours, those time slots, and then being where you are when you're supposed to be there. So that is one of the most important things, I think, with that. And then listen to Gina and Fontaine's. And I have one on my YouTube channel as well. If you just search Scottie Hobbs Time Management, I have an activity with a piece of paper where you can write your priorities and your other things that don't really matter to help you identify where you can adjust and make time for it. So that's how you do it. And I can tell you when you have balance, you're going to have more energy. You're going to work smarter and not as hard. You can work smarter and not harder when you have a work-life balance and you have energy for your coaches and your team. So just like this team call right now, every single other night of the week, I don't touch Beachbody at this hour, at this time of the day, but this is my time. Like this time, 6:45, my time until this is over at 8 o'clock. My wife and my kids know it's team call night. So we've had that, that communication. So they know that this is my Beachbody coach time. And then, when I'm doing family time, my team for the most part understands, if you've been around for a while and the new ones are learning as they go, that, that's my family time. This is my Beachbody time. So just creating that for yourself, because I can tell you, nobody wants to work 24/7. So if you have big goals and dreams and aspirations and you're desperate to make this business work, you're sick of what you have right now, you can literally work this business 24 hours a day. So you need to make that balance. Okay. Understanding Success Club and how to reach Success Club. I'm going to ask, I saw her on here. Let me find her. Bonita, are you on here still? Bonita. Oh, there you are. I unmuted you for you. I'm forcing you. I've unmuted you. So Bonita is one of Sean's diamond coaches. What would you say, why is Success Club important, and how are you hitting Success Club every month?
Success Club is important, especially when you become Emerald, because once you become Emerald, you have to have Success Club to get your online leads. I've made it a priority in my business. When I first started, up until December, I made it a priority to be Success Club 5. And then starting in January, I decided that I'm going to go for Success Club 10 All-Stars this year. Oh. So I have just made it a priority that no matter what happens in the month, I will hit Success Club 10 by the end of that month. I've just made it a priority, and I'm just making it happen. And it doesn't matter what happens in that month, it has to happen in that month.
I like that. I have a question for you that I don't know the answer to. Did you ever hit Success Club 10 before January?
No.
So this is kind of a unique thing, and I've seen it with so many coaches, including Jennifer Greenberg, for example, who's, she's a 9-star diamond coach, has a business that makes her over $500,000 a year with Beachbody. Same thing with Bonita. She had never hit Success Club 10 until she made a decision, until she said, I'm going to hit Success Club 10 every single month. So I think it's really cool and unique that you said that, where it's just like, I'm going to hit Success Club 10, do whatever it takes. And people ask me that question all the time, like, how do you do it? And I'm like, I know the activity I do every day, and I show everybody what I do every day with making 3 blog posts a day. I make 3 blog posts a week, 3 videos a week, and I post on Facebook 5 times a day, and I invite and start conversations with 5 new people a day. Every single day, that's my priority, with the end goal of Success Club 10. And that's the one thing that I decided the day I became a coach, is that I would never miss Success Club 10. And April will be our 4 years straight without ever missing Success Club 10. And all it was a decision. Was it scary sometimes? Did I have a doubt that it would happen? Yes. But I had to immediately shut that doubt off. I had to listen to inspirational stuff on YouTube that says you could do it. You have greatness in you. And I'm like, no, I don't. And then the YouTube audio is like, yes, you are. You're great. And I'm like, okay, I'm great. I can hit my goal. And I'd go back to work and have these conversations, and it would happen. But it just came down to having more conversations.
Yeah.
Goes back to the first question we're talking about, how to build a Beachbody business. Don't get overwhelmed with all the details. It's about building more relationships and having more conversations if you want to build a business.
And living, and the other thing is I live Beachbody every day. I'm the example of what you need. I'm the proof of the product and the example of what you need to do every single day. I'm the example to all my coworkers, to my family, to my friends. I'm constantly on, I'm constantly living, and I'm constantly showing what can happen when you put your head to the grindstone.
And I can bonus for that because 4:30 in the morning, she's up and doing the exercise. She's up. She's doing the shakes. She's doing everything.
That's awesome. So I have a question. And now showing up, that's with the right mindset. That's with the right activity, with the 3 vital behaviors. Here's a great question for new coaches that I'm going to ask you, because I know, but I want you to talk about this. Are you at your ideal body and goal weight?
No, not even close. I'm about halfway there now.
About halfway there. So you don't have to be at your goal weight. You don't have to have the perfect physique, have everything lined out where you look like Wayne Wyatt or Josh Benz, or one of these top coaches from when I first started as a coach. You don't have to have that. And that's one of the reasons I never started in the first place, but signed up officially, is because I wasn't looking like those guys. So I think that's important to know, that you don't have to be there. You have to be on your way there and invite people to join you on that journey.
Exactly. And I motivate more people, and I probably have a bigger success because they are seeing me every single day doing what I need to do to lose the weight and get healthy.
I love that. And sometimes it can be harder, let's say where I'm at. Let's say, well, not right now. I lost my abs due to some bad choices after the surgery. So, but when I am in my best shape, or, in the top 10 of the business, it's harder for me to relate with someone in the beginning. When someone's like, I don't have $140. I'm like, how do you not have $140? Like, that comes to my mind first thing. And then I have to be like, oh, wait, dude, you had to sell Xboxes and Wii's and fix things on Craigslist to get your $140 to get started as a coach. So it's a constant struggle to always be able to go back and relate on that level. But when you're brand new, you're on that level with them. So you can make a better connection with those people and invite them on the journey with you. So thanks for sharing that. The one thing, I'll hit on Success Club just a little bit. It's, if you want to build a long-term business, it's the one thing you have control over in this business. You can't control what any of your coaches do. You can't control what anybody does, but you can have complete control over your own activity. How many people you get connected to a challenge pack, to the tools that we know can help them achieve their health and fitness goals. So that's the one thing that you have absolute control over, aside from your own personal growth. That's the 3 vital behaviors. You have control over your own personal growth, how many books you read and how much you apply from that. You have control over your transformation, how hard you work on your transformation. And you have control over how many people you connect with and build a relationship with, which in turn turns into them becoming one of your customers or coaches. So that's the only things you have control over in this business. And yes, you will have people that build a great business and have a great transformation. But the fact of the matter is, they're the ones that put that effort in to create that transformation. You probably inspired them or planted that seed in them, but they're the ones that did that. Gina and Fontaine, she'll be 2-star diamond next week and 3-star diamond a few short weeks after that. I didn't do that for them. That's something that she did that. I gave them the tools, and then I did the actions and said, follow me, do this, do it with this mindset, do it with this amount of energy, and you will create success. And she does it completely different from me. She has a different personality. She's a different person. So she did it her own way, but she did the same types of activities that I did. So remember that as you go forward building your business, that the Success Club is the one thing that you have control over in your business. If you ask me how I got into the Millionaire Club with Beachbody and built a team of 25,000 people, I don't really know, other than that I've never not showed up. If any of you guys have been here with me since I started in 2011, they can tell you that I've never not been here, unless it was on a Success Club trip or I went on a family vacation and said, I'm going to be gone for 5 days. I'll be back on Monday. Any of these coaches have been here with me that long can tell you that I have been here no matter what. I've been here when family's gone through hard times, when I've broken bones, when I've been laying in the hospital, when I had an eye surgery because my vision was going out. Every time something happened, I was always still here. So when people are like, how did you do that? I showed up with the right mindset, which was a lot of personal development and full belief in myself and that I could build this team if I just did the things that my coach told me to do, which was hit Success Club 10 every month. And it seems so like, maybe that seems vague, but that's what I've done. Is to just do that with the right mindset every single month. So when I say how important is Success Club, it's that important. So and the same thing with any of these coaches you see that are full-time, like Kendra Fletcher, Brigida, all these coaches that left their corporate jobs and became full-time coaches. If you look at them, they never, ever miss Success Club. That's the one thing that they always do. And they have ups and downs with their mindset and where they're at. I'll tell you guys, I'm sure Kendra's okay with me telling you, but Kendra was telling me today she was feeling burnt out and she didn't have the energy, and my conversation with her was like, hey, stop working on Saturdays. Like, just work hard. Right now you have a full-time business. Just work hard Monday through Friday and completely take off Saturday and Sunday, aside from your personal development and your workouts and posting on Facebook. And it's just know that each these top coaches that you might see on our team, they all have their struggles as well, but they continue to show up and ask for advice when they need it, when they're having those struggles. So that's how important Success Club is. And then, yes, the trips are awesome. The Success Club trips are awesome. The Success Club leads are awesome. I have a few great challengers and brand new coaches right now that were leads. So those are awesome. But remember, those are just bonuses. There's no other company, network marketing company, that gives you free leads that are doing workouts and programs already. So look at that as the bonus. The real value of Success Club is it's that monthly marker that you can hit that I can tell you will grow business over time, over the next 12, 24 months, if you make that your priority. Okay, how to hit it. That's understanding it a little bit. How to hit it. Basically, bring 3 people on with a challenge pack a month is 6 points. 3 people. It doesn't matter if they're a coach or a customer. 3 points. I build my business with mostly starting everybody as a coach. Some want to build a business. Some just want to do their transformation, but I talk to them about doing it with a discount. And I have a full blog post I made with how I invite people like that. So if you need that blog post, just write me and I'll give it to you. There's videos and scripts that I've made for that. But that's the basics of hitting Success Club. Start 3 people a month on their transformation. And that gets you Success Club 6 points. So you'd be in Success Club 5.
Sorry for a second, Scottie.
Who is this?
Tina.
Okay. Yes, go
Sorry. I just wanted to throw in there because I know a lot of my coaches, it was sort of like an aha moment for them that not a lot really thought of right away. Is I rarely ever hit Success Club 5 or any odd number for the simple fact that Shakeology is practically the same price as any of our $140 challenge packs. So anytime someone comes to me saying that they want to just get Shakeology, they never end up just getting Shakeology. I always recommend them to choose a program, whether it be the one on promotion, which 21 Day Fix was for a while, which is awesome. Upgrade to Extreme, or even just pick another one in there that they think they would have fun with for the extra $10, and then you get the extra 2 points. So it's just a little tip. I know it sort of seems like common sense, but some just get very, especially new coaches, they don't, there's a lot to learn, so they don't really pick up on that part right away. But I never let a customer just order Shakeology alone. So that's it.
Perfect. That's a great one. It's one of those things like some of us do naturally and don't teach. So thank you for bringing that up. That's something I do as well. I don't know when the last time I had a Shakeology HD order alone. So because I always get them on a $140 challenge pack. Okay. And the same thing when I'm signing up a coach, they may have 8 programs already, but I tell them, hey, you might as well get a $140 challenge pack or a $160 because, I mean, you're going to sign up for $40 and then about $100 for your Shakeology. It's $140. You might as well get a free program. And you can use it in the future, or you can give it to a family member. You know, it could be the first person you help. So I do that as well with coaches. Always getting them connected with a challenge pack. And it's what you do as you build this business, the actions that you do are what your coaches will emulate. So if you're doing that as well, when they're ready to build a business, that's what they'll do as well when they're building their business. So we're going to go a little bit long today, but I want to answer these questions since we do have a Q&A. The next one is kind of a long question. There's 2 of them together. It says, I want to know how to get websites set up. Because if you jump in and don't put enough thought into it, you end up with something that people just go yuck and they move on and look for a different coach. I want to learn how to set up a solid business site so it's ready so that people can be sent there, or it's ready to go when somebody wants to check out who they're signing up under. Honestly, Scottie, I went through your website to see who you were before I asked you to be my coach. And then the next one says, website's a big one for me too. Also, how to use social media to drive people to my website. And then it says, Scottie has some awesome teaching points on these topics. So if you go to my YouTube channel and search Scottie Hobbs blog or Scottie Hobbs Facebook, you know, I've taught all of these things on my Facebook or on my YouTube channel. I've taught how to put a Beachbody Challenge tab on a blog post. I've taught how to SEO a blog post to attract a certain type of person, all on my YouTube channel for everybody to see. And this kind of goes back into the first thing we talked about, not having everything perfect to start. For example, this coach, I know who this is. He's in our new coach training that we're doing. You know, he specifically searched me out, looked at my blog to see who I was, what I was about, and liked the professionalism of what everything looked like and who I was. But the important thing is you got to understand I wasn't like that. That my stuff didn't look professional till like 6 months in, but I still hit Success Club 10 those 6 months until that happened. So I didn't wait for everything to look professional to get started, but the thing I did start is I started learning how to do those things. I started blogging, and my blog sucked. You could probably look it up if you wanted. It was like Scottie's over the top blog at blogspot.com or something like that. It was on a free blogger site, and it looked really bad. Like I didn't even write anything. I like put a picture on there and called it a blog post. So it looked really bad in the beginning, but I just got better over time by looking at other coaches' blogs, see what they blogged about, so on and so forth. So Don't wait for it to be perfect, but I would, if you want to have a professional looking website like mine, or like Gina and Fontaine have one, wellfitslife.com, I think, is what it is. You know, KendraFletcherFitness.com, mine's ScottieHobbs.com. If you want to do that, what I would do is I would just set up a free WordPress. I would go to WordPress. I would set up a free blog. Don't worry about paying for anything yet. And I would just start sharing your journey on there. Start making blog posts. If you have a challenger that has a transformation with 21 Day Fix, I would share it in there. As you're creating content for your social media, for your Facebook, which is something I do every single day. When you see something inspiring, it's because I read that morning. And then I teach what I learn on Facebook. I do that every single morning. That's one of my top priorities, is so I can add value to people. I learn something and then I teach it on social media. And that's, if you guys notice, that's what my videos are as well. My Facebook topic is usually the same as my video. It's because it's what I taught that day. So what you can do is, as you start building your blog, is make your great Facebook post, copy it, and paste it into that free blog you're doing. And then over the next 6 months, 12 months, start to make it look more professional. You know, start learning how to make it look organized and whatnot. I think the most important thing about that is not waiting for it to be perfect to start building your business, but just start putting content there so that when somebody comes, you know, they're not going to look at how perfect it looks. They're going to look at the content that's there, the personality that's there, and the you that you share on that. That's what they're going to connect with. That says, I want them to be my coach. So I would just start that way with a free blog. And then in all honesty, if you didn't have a blog, you can still build a very successful business. You know, the top coaches on our team, Melanie Mitchell is a part of our team, and she is #1 coach in the company last year. Hers is not even a paid website. It's a blogger website. And, you know, it's just a blog. She shares recipes and who she is and transformation stories. And it's like Melanie, I can't remember exactly what it is, but just search Melanie Mitro and you can look at her blog. It's free. She paid nothing for that. She just puts content on it consistently. So I don't think you need to have it 100% professional, but what I think you should have looking professional right now is your Facebook. Like showing up with a positive attitude, teaching positive things, sharing positive things, sharing success stories, never sharing links to products, but sharing success stories, sharing about your life, about your family, who you are, what your values are, because that's what's going to connect somebody with you and who you are. So I would make sure that your Facebook looks good. And then in all honesty, every single coach on here that is my personally sponsored coach, you may have gone to my blog or you may have gone to my YouTube channel or my Facebook, but you didn't buy the product from there and you didn't sign up as a coach from there. Not at all. You were sent a private message from me or a text message from me, and we talked on the phone, and then I sent you a direct link with instructions on how to sign up with your challenge pack. You didn't go to a professional looking blog and click links and everything's perfect. Like, I don't think I've ever had a coach just go to my blog and sign up as a coach, or go to my YouTube and sign up as a coach. They've all had a private conversation with me. They've all reached out to me and said, hey, I've been watching your videos, or hey, I've been watching what you do on Facebook, and then I get on the phone with them, and that's where the magic happens. It's not from a professional looking website or YouTube channel. The thing that draws them in, yes, is the blog stuff and the website and the YouTube videos and the Facebook stuff, but it's all the content that I put out and all the personality that I put out that they connect with, and then they email me, and then that's when we have the conversation. So, and Gina's answering some questions if you need on the Zoom chat about getting her blog set up. I know mine cost me $24 for 2 years to buy the ScottieHobbs.com. And then I hosted it on, then I took that blog and I hosted it on GoDaddy for like $120 for 2 years or something like that. I got the most basic package, and then, you know, and that's where I host mine. So there's your answer on that one. Social media is going to be a huge part. If you're not good at it, I would watch videos on it and then start practicing. Or I would follow successful coaches that you see on our team or in the whole network of Beachbody coaches, and I would see how they post, how consistent they post, what types of things do they post, and then I would post those types of things, but with your personality. And then I would start. And you're not going to get a ton of likes and comments and all that stuff right now, but being consistent with it is when it is going to be the key part to that. So the next question I want to answer is challenge groups. I want you to search on YouTube how to run Beachbody challenge groups and pick 5 different coaches, watch their styles, and then kind of create your own with your own personality. Watch what they do, learn what they do from the videos they teach. I know almost every top 10 coach has a video on how they run a challenge group. So search on YouTube, how to run Beachbody challenge group. But I will answer this question on it. My challenge groups are 30 days, just so you basically know what I do. I do 30 days, and if they're participating, they go into the next 30 days. If they're not participating, they come out. And I don't tell them, I give up on you, you're not going to make it, or any of that stuff. I just tell them, hey, the commitment to the group was that you would show up and be accountable in the group every day. For some reason you're not doing it, let me know what the issue is or if I can help you with something. If you want to recommit, you can, but I kind of have that conversation with them. And then I keep the people that are commenting every day on their transformations in the next group, and then I bring my new people on. So I start new people every 30 days, and they come in with the motivated, excited people that are doing it every day. So that's the basics of what I do. And I just do a fun little photo challenge every day where it's like, do a plank today or do a selfie with a smile. And then I just have them show what workout they did and take a picture. So that's what I do. And I am really losing my voice. I'm going to answer these last 2 questions to end it. It says, here is one. I love this one because I'm somebody that suffered my whole life from self-esteem issues. Nobody really knew about it, but if you look at my life and the things I do, like I excel at guitar, I excel at snowboarding, except for when I land on my head and break my clavicle. I excelled at snowboarding, at skateboarding. When I went on a mission for my church, I excelled at that. All these things I excelled at and went all in at, but it's because I always wanted to do the best I could so I could be accepted. So somebody could say, you did great. You're doing awesome. And if you read the book, The 5 Love Languages, that's my love language. So I thrive off of somebody telling me I'm doing a good job. So I excelled in everything that I put my mind to because I wanted to be told I was good. I wanted to be accepted. So because I had bad self-esteem, I worked super hard so I could be great at something so someone could say, oh man, that's awesome. You're great at that, because that's who I was growing up as a kid. So guys, honestly, in the beginning, I thrived off of that as well. When Lindsay's like, Scottie hit Success Club 10 in his first month, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest. I love this company. I'm going to do this every month. So that was a thing about me that drove me as well when I had my goals. So, but it was all because I had those self-esteem issues growing up. I wanted to be accepted. So Lindsay accepted me. It was awesome. And Beachbody accepted me. And that's why I drove so hard. So this question is, how do coaches accept a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people? So how do you accept temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people? And that was you that asked that, right, Jay? Okay, Jay asked that, and it's from the book GoPro. And the biggest thing that helped me with that is honestly the personal development books that I was reading. And it was a quote by Les Brown that says, somebody's opinion of you does not define your reality. Somebody's opinion of you does not define your reality. So, I had neighbors that made fun of, I put like a magnet on my car. And by the way, don't do magnets. It sucked. Nobody ever called. Nobody ever emailed me, but I had Shakeology logo on it, my number, P90X, Insanity. But, he would make off comments on like, hey, did you sell any of that Shakeology from your magnet today? So it was like, and with me wanting to be always accepted, that's like tearing you down a little bit, So I had those types of things, but, I had other neighbors that judged us, and even, into my first year when I left my job, oh, I wonder what, and we're a pretty frugal family. Oh, I wonder what what the Hobbses are going to buy next, like gossiping with each other, you know, all these things. Like, so those are people you thought were your friends, you know, so it's like temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. So sorry, neighbors, if you're listening to this on YouTube, you're ignorant at sometimes. No, but that was the thing that helped me, was Les Brown. You know, people's opinions of you do not define your reality. And another thing was from a book called Greater. I think it was in Greater, a book called Greater. It said, if you value somebody's opinion, like, I fully believed that my purpose as a Beachbody coach is to encourage people and help them reach their potential. I feel that's my God-given purpose. That's why I work so hard at Beachbody. And so that quote, when I read it in the book Greater, no, it was a purpose-driven life. A purpose-driven life. If you haven't read it, read it. But it said, if you value someone's opinion of you over what God's opinion of you is, then you are putting a false image or idol before God. And I'm sorry if some of you guys don't believe in God, but that's my own personal beliefs. So I took that to heart. If I value what a neighbor says or what a coworker says about me and why I'm doing Beachbody, then I'm putting that person before God. So I kind of use that as my way to overcome. I wouldn't say I accepted temporary loss of social esteem. I just decided that I wasn't going to accept that. And the cool thing about it, by reading books, is I also read things like, if somebody doesn't support your goals and dreams, then they don't deserve your time or to be a part of your life, that you should surround yourself with people that accept you for who you are and what you stand for. So that's how I overcame it personally. Does that help you a little bit, Jay? Okay. But I think the best one is, people's opinion of you does not define your reality. You know, if someone's like, hey, Jay's out here trying to scam people, you know, getting them on, selling them these workouts, he just wants to get ahead in life or something, you know, they could say any number of things that I've heard. Just realize that their opinion of you does not define your reality. Okay. The next thing is my favorite one, the importance of purpose, having a strong why and a belief in yourself. And I didn't mark who wrote these, but if you don't have, if you don't develop your purpose and a strong reason and belief in yourself, you will not build a business with Beachbody until you do that. So if that's your struggle, if you don't know why you're a coach yet, then you need to figure that out. You need to spend some time meditating, reading books, writing out your life goals, writing out what you're afraid of. I remember an activity that I did. I don't think I've ever shared this on a call, but I had the privilege in August of my first year of being a coach, right after I became a diamond coach, I think it was August, to be on a call series with a guy named Craig. And he had built a $100,000 a month business with Amway. And I was like, dude, if this guy can do this with Amway, I could do this with Beachbody workouts, because everybody needs health and fitness. So if he can do it with that, I can do it with this. And if he did that face-to-face, I can really do this with social media, because I can reach tens of thousands more people than they used to do face-to-face, door-to-door meetings with the old whiteboard. You know, so having that conversation with him on that, you know, I remember there was Amy Silverman was on it. A few of the top 10 coaches became top 10 coaches. But he had us do an activity. He didn't make us. We did it. But he invited us for a week's activity to write our obituary, what we wanted read at our funeral about our life and what we stood for, the impact that we made. And it really made me think about what I really wanted people to say about me, you know, when that time came. And it really helped me discover my purpose, what type of impact I wanted to make. You know, it helped me realize that because my goals then were only to bring my wife home. I realized that I didn't want to have him saying, you know, Scott showed up to his cubicle for 50 years straight and he wrote some pretty freaking awesome maintenance manuals. You know, I realized I didn't want my obituary to be that. You know, he got to see his kids on the weekend. I wanted it to, like, I wrote it out and it was intense. And we had to read that out loud. And I mean, I was in tears reading it in front of other coaches. And so at that point, I really discovered what my purpose was as a coach. And it helped me develop my belief in myself, being around those other coaches that were having those visions and discovering that purpose for themselves as well. One of the strongest ways you're going to stay connected to your purpose is reading every single day. I'm losing my voice. Sorry, guys. Or I'm going through puberty again. I don't know. So reading books every single day, doing 10 times the personal development. You know, if you're struggling with your belief in yourself, you know, you could invite 100 people. Instead of doing that, I would do 10 times the personal development until you believe in yourself. Because until you believe in yourself, you know, whether it comes out verbally or not, people will sense if you believe in what you're doing or not. You won't have that confidence that will inspire people to change. So that's how important it is. You can't build this business for a car, like to get a car. You can't build this business, you know, to the level that I know many of you guys want to, for small goals. You got to have something bigger that's going to pull you. You know, the only reason I did everything it took to hit Success Club 10 was because I had enough pain of working that job, 12 hours, 15 hours a day, plus Saturdays, and having my wife work at night and not seeing her, that I would do whatever it took to build this business so that she wouldn't have to work anymore. So I had that strong enough purpose and vision. So you've got to develop that so that pulls you through. That's the things that pull me through, you know, on these times when I say I have never missed a day unless I'm gone on a like little vacation. I've showed up for 4 years straight. And it's not just because I have unbelievable willpower or discipline. It's not the lack of discipline if you're not showing up. It's the lack of purpose. So I used to think, even in my first year or two, why aren't people disciplined like I am? Why are they not committed like I am? That was the thing in my mental battle I went through. And it was through reading A Purpose-Driven Life and you know, and Greater and Breakout and many of these books based on purpose that I realized that it wasn't a lack of discipline and commitment. It was a lack of purpose. They didn't have a real purpose in their life. And once you get purpose, then you're disciplined. Then you become disciplined because you're so driven by that purpose and that why. So if you're not committed yet and you're not showing up yet, or you haven't set your hours yet, it's really not because you might have an outside excuse like I don't understand the business, or I'm shy, or I don't have many friends on Facebook. You know, you might have these outside layer excuses, but the real reason is because you don't have a purpose yet. You haven't really discovered what your purpose is. And you can discover your purpose. I'm really losing my voice. 1 second. And by the way, I have what we believe to be pneumonia from lack of activity after my chest surgery. So I got on some medications. But I'm here. I'm showing up for you. It's the lack of purpose. So if you're not committed yet, if you're not showing up at the level that you want to show up and you know you should be showing up, work on developing that purpose. You know, write out something like I did, like your own obituary, or write out what your life goals are. Get clear about those. Meditate on those. Meditate on how it's going to feel to achieve those, and really get into the point of what it's going to feel like to achieve those types of things. And then once you're clear on that, then you're going to be able to stay focused and committed. One thing I do every single day, I can't point it over here, but I have all my goals written out for my elite coaches, for my diamond coaches, my Success Club goals, my wife in Success Club, the coaches I want in personal in elite. I have how many books I want to read, my rank goal, my income goals down to every month, everything clearly written out. And my goals, but one thing I do every single day is I meditate on those. I look at them, I envision them happening, and I really get to that point. And I do that before I answer any text message, any voicemail, any Facebook message, before I look at Facebook. And I meditate on it. I'll tell you guys exactly what I do every day. I meditate on those goals 15 minutes, on my purpose. Why am I doing this? Then I read for 30 minutes. Then I write a post. And I drink my Shakeology, and then I do my workout, and then I make a video, And I do all of that before I reach out to anybody or answer a single message or browse Facebook or any of that stuff. But what I'm doing with that is I'm getting clear on my purpose, getting focused in on that, zoned on that, working on myself. And then I can go out and give to other people. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you'll never be able to take care of somebody else. So you've got to make sure that you get that stuff out before you work with anybody else in your business, in your life, in your reaching out, in your daily activities. So that's what I do every single day on that. And the main thing is so I can stay tight to my purpose every day. And it's going to continually change and advance and grow. So my wife's been home from work, and I have for almost 3 years now. So that can't drive me, that urge to make that happen anymore, because it's already happened. I've been home, a stay-at-home dad for close to 3 years now. So it's always got to continually advance and grow. So like many of you guys know from a recent team call, my new purpose is I'm working on retiring my parents in 2 years. So I have a specific goal to retire my parents. I'm building their business. I'm building my third business with that specific goal of bringing them home. And it's not just a goal of retire parents. There's emotions tied to that. There's camping trips. There's fishing trips with my dad. There's, trips with my mom and my kids, and family time that's tied with that, like the amount of family time that will happen because of that goal. So you can't just have a goal written out. You got to have, what's the emotional tie to that goal? What's going to happen? What's it going to be like when that happens? So that's one thing that I always focus on first thing every single morning. So that was the last of the most important questions. There was a technical question. I'm going to show it to you. Oh, it's gone. I have too many things on my computer right now. I click one thing and it hides behind everything. I got like 18 screens here. No, just kidding. I just have two. There was the one last technical question on preferred placement. When you set preferred placement, it has weak outside leg first available, left, right, weak leg first available. I have videos. Just go to my YouTube channel, search Scottie Hobbs coach placement. There's coach placement, there's advanced coach placement, and there's coach placement 101. So you can go there to look at that, but I'll tell you guys, I never use any of those except left and right. Left and right. I sign someone on the left, sign someone on the right. On the left, on the right, on the left, on the right. I don't do the other ones at all. So I just do set preferred placement. I choose if they're going on the left or the right. I hit save, then I send them their link to get signed up as a coach, and then that's where they go. So that's the technical end of that. Did you guys, let's see, it's 8:20. I'm supposed to be we got excited. I'm supposed to be at the studio at 8:30, and it's like 20-minute drive. So I was going to ask you guys if you had any more questions, but we're going to end it for right now. Was the question and answer thing a good thing for you guys? Did it help? Okay. And thanks for those of you that help answer some questions, and thanks to all of you guys that asked the questions. That's what I want you guys to know about this business. We want to answer your questions. So an important part of you growing and staying tied to your purpose is to show up to the team calls, or at least listen to them, to the recorded ones, so that you can continually learn and get little tidbits of advice. It could be one team call. It could be one comment from Bonita. It could be one comment from Gina or from Barton or any coach. They says something that's going to make that click in your mind where you're like, oh my gosh, that's what I'm missing. A lot of times it's like a 1-degree shift or change that you need to make to go from being average to creating something amazing for your life. So take every advantage you can to learn from those that are creating success around you. And the more that you stay, birds of a feather flock together. The more that you stay surrounded by people that are doing more than you are, it's going to help you rise to that level. But when you're surrounded by those people, so you become like the people that you spend the most time with. So I want to spend time with you guys, and I'll make sure that I'm always showing up on Thursdays. I'll be on Lindsay's call as well. My coach Lindsay's calls are Monday nights. I'm talking on her call on Monday night, so feel free to hop on that one as well. And then we'll see you guys next Thursday. We'll see you in the team page. I want you guys asking questions, engaging in the team page, helping each other. That's what the team page is for you guys to mastermind and share ideas. So just know there's never a dumb question. The only dumb question is no question at all, of thinking you know it all. I'm still learning. I still ask questions. and I still have to ask for advice as well. So thanks for hopping on, guys. This is recorded, so I'll put it up on my YouTube channel and share it in the team page as well. So if you have any coaches that need to watch it, feel free to share with them. See you guys later. Peace. And Chad, you look way too comfortable, man. I was jealous the whole call.